Hello, my name is Aaron Morvant, and this is the second Million Mile Tundra.
Hey, it's Tim Estrell, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and my passion is trucks and SUVs. If that's your passion too, make sure you subscribe below, hit bell notification to be notified new videos put out. I'm in Louisiana with my friend Aaron, and we got his second Million Mile Tundra, 2007 Toyota Tundra. SR or SR5?
SR5.
And what do we have underneath the hood?
4.7 V8.
Okay, and so you, at this taping, we're a little bit ahead of time. He's going to do the million miles here in a couple days, but you're almost right there.
Right.
When did you know you were going to get close? When did the excitement start building a little bit?
Well, I figured after it turned 400,000 or 500,000 miles and nothing going wrong with the engine or the transmission at that time, I saw it was potentially a million-mile truck.
So did you start planning it out on like how many miles you're doing per month and start thinking about that?
No, it fluctuated so much in the Obama years with the oil field up and down. So I was going before in 08 and 09, I believe I did close to 100,000 miles a year, and then it dropped to 65 to 75,000 miles a year. So it was unsure when I was going to reach a million miles.
And you just kept putting it on.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it like when you're driving around in a million-mile truck and you keep seeing the odometer go higher? I mean, it's got to be some excitement building up.
Yeah, there is. I'm hoping it just continues on.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, you're a Hotshot driver. What does that mean, like in layman's terms?
We are a logistics company. We companies that need the stuff delivered to shipyards, tugboats, anything around the country for the oil field. They call our logistics company. They call their trucks that are leased on to them, and we carry the parts where needed.
Okay, so you're basically a contractor who gets contracted out to take loads.
Correct.
So how many, we were just talking, he literally just got a phone call. He's got to leave right now. But, I mean, that's what happens. You get a phone call in the middle of the night, middle of the day, whatever, and you got to hit the road.
Spur of the moment. Mm-hmm.
Always got a bag packed.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's your average right now on a monthly when you're putting on the truck?
Mileage?
Per month, what are you putting on?
Close to 85 to 9,000 per month.
Per month.
Mm-hmm.
Most guys do that kind of in a year.
Correct, yes.
So what's the numbers here? How many sets of tires do you think you've been through?
I average $100,000 for 100,000 miles per set of tires.
So
So I'm probably on my 10th set.
Yep. And what did we have done to the truck? Now you said the engine was the same. You've had the transmission rebuilt.
Yes, overhauled, and with 792,000 miles, I had that transmission overhauled.
What was wrong with the transmission? Was it just shifting weird? Or?
Yeah, I think it was around third gear. As it would hit, I would get a little flutter in the RPM. So I took it to a transmission fella, and I believe now that if I'd just had my transmission flushed, I probably wouldn't have had it to get overhauled, but learn from experience,
right.
I suppose.
Right. But the engine's the same. No problems there. Have you lost?
Oh no.
Easy. Like you've probably done alternators and water pumps and things.
Yes, I'm on my third alternator.
Yep.
One water pump I had changed. Nothing major with the engine except for the intake valves. There was a recall, and when I was at 150,000 miles, I was left out of the recall. Me and Victor both, and I had to pay a little bit of money for that, but it was well worth it. Kind of, I was upset with Toyota being my first Toyota that I was left out of the recall. But after getting so many miles in my truck, I'm a Toyota guy now. It doesn't matter.
A little bit sold on reliability, huh?
Yes.
So what kind of adventures have you had? We were just talking earlier about a snowstorm we went through, and what else have you gone through?
Yeah, I've pulled a heavy trailer through the mountains of Colorado. I've towed more than what the capacity is, and I've hauled way more than what the capacity was. And I mean, I think the truck's rated for 1,300 pounds, and I've put over 3,000 pounds in my truck many times and never had trouble with it.
That's crazy to have, that much reliability and taking that much weight all the time and just going for it. As far as like inside the cabin, have you had any issues with windshield wipers, of visors, of any random things happening?
No, everything's been good. I mean, I've changed the windshield wipers probably 5 or 6 times, but other than that, Everything, a little rip in the seat. I guess that's my biggest downfall for a million miles.
Well, I watched this Tundra drive around, and again, it's pretty remarkable. This thing has almost 1,000,000 miles on it, and it doesn't look like that, does it? Yeah, the bed's beat up, but you kind of expect that. So I'm going to fill in a few gaps for you, because I noticed a few questions came up as I did the video. Again, he had to leave that day, and it was kind of exciting in that he had gotten a phone call, had to go to Staten Island that same day. Within like 20 minutes, had to be on the road. That's the kind of lifestyle he has, and it kind of goes to why he got the Toyota Tundra in the first place. And that was a big question to me. Out of all the trucks in the marketplace today, why go Toyota Tundra? And he said to me that he had been considering doing this job as he's getting towards retirement at his paper mill. And then the paper mill up and closed. And so now he's like, what am I going to do? Well, I've always wanted to make money on the road. So he's like, I'm going to be a hotshot driver. And so he's driving around, listens to the radio, and a radio advertisement comes on that says 80% of all Toyota vehicles sold in the last 20 years are still on the road. And knowing that reliability is such a huge part of his business and part of being a hotshot driver, he put reliability over everything else, and so he had to go Tundra. That was a no-brainer for him. So he gets the Tundra, and another part of the story is that he went to the same dealership that Vic Shepard had gone to. Vic Shepard had the first 1,000,000-mile Tundra. That's the story I broke. I'll put a link above the interview I did with Vic Shepard and also the story behind the 1,000,000-mile Tundra, the first one. After 100,000 miles, Aaron and Vic had kind of talked, and Vic convinced Aaron to go to this Greg LeBlanc dealership there in Oma, Louisiana. And it's where all dealerships work is done on the service on both 1,000,000-mile Tundras. And I'll have a link above, depending on timing, should be up there, on the service manager for that, or the assistant service manager, excuse me, let me get the title correctly. The assistant service manager at the Greg LeBlanc dealership, I have her on video talking about both trucks. And it's really good information about transmissions. So you remember that Aaron brought up that he had his transmission rebuilt. The service manager and I discuss whether or not what you should do with the transmission, since it's a sealed unit. Really interesting video, so I'll put that above. Another side note on this is there was some conversation about the first 1,000,000-mile Tundra, and I kind of want to nip this in the bud. This is the 4.7-liter V8. It is a UZ engine. This was built from 2004, 2009 Toyota Tundras. It was built in Alabama as well. I went to that facility in Huntsville, Alabama. It's really cool to see an engine get built, but that's a whole side story. That's before I did video, and I wish I would have done video when I did that story because it was really cool. And starting in 2010, the 4.6-liter V8 UR engine came out. And so there's some confusion about what kind of V8 this is. It isn't the 5.7-liter V8. It's not the iForce big one, but it's not the V6. It's that smaller V8. So let's nip that in the bud so we know what engine it is. There's no debate there. And the last thing I'd tell you about is about a week or so later, I got this video.
Hello folks, my name is Aaron, and I'm about to turn 1,000,000 miles in my 2007 Toyota Tundra. And I'm going to share with you where my odometer gets stuck on all nines.
So there it is, the world's second 1,000,000-mile Tundra. It's really cool to see that. Really cool. Thank you, Aaron, for sending me that video. Glad I'll put this together and get the story out. It's really cool to get that milestone. And I want to talk to you guys as well as the audience. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification. You'll be notified when the videos put out. But especially hit like and comment. I have 2 other 1,000,000-mile trucks that are on my docket I've been looking at as far as stories. And let me know. I have a Chevy, I have a Ford. I know there's some different trucks out there I can do as well. Let me know if you like these kind of stories. You want to see more of them. I'm willing to travel to talk to these guys. I like getting their behind-the-scenes story and how they get those 1,000,000 miles. But maybe I like it, maybe you don't. I don't know. Hit the like button, share with your friends. Let's make this big. Make this a big video. As always, make sure you find us on pickuptrucktalk.com. Type in Pickup Truck Talk on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I made it that easy. 3 words, same ways, and you'll find us. Hit like, subscribe over there as well. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.